Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M40 M43. It's the Tier 8 American SPG, and this one's located on the north spawn of Minsk under the command of Vaca. Now you can see it says 1945 on the side of the vehicle, 2 marks of excellence on the barrel, and the What Arty Noobs logo, because this is a skin provided by Sir Rusty. Very nice of him too. Makes the Arty look so much special, and you can see there's an M44 in What Arty Noobs colours as well. Well, he's headed off to the west side of the map to find his firing position. Oh. I think they're just firing a few speculative shots at the enemy on the off chance they might hit something. And you see he's carefully avoiding damaging those vehicles to let the enemy know where he is. And moving through. Oh, not a tree down there. That might not be spotted though. It's such a tiny tree. He's actually headed over to the far west side of the map. Now some people have actually reported getting really good shots on the enemy. The only thing is you are vulnerable to any of the medium tanks who happen to come down the west side of the map. But it also means you can support some of your team if they are on the west side. But we are going to be aiming at the enemy. And yep, we've got T-29 hiding behind that building. But it's going to be a difficult shot from this angle. The shell will probably hit the roof of the building before it hits the enemy. But we've got an M445, the AMX M445, the French heavy. And that landed just behind him for 345 hit points. Now you've got an 8-inch howitzer on this gun, on this SPG. I know that because it's the gun barrel doesn't extend over the front of the vehicle. That makes it an 8-inch howitzer. And that's got alpha damage of 1,050 hit points on a penetration of 52 millimeters. Now if it was the 155mm gun, that would make it the M40, and it would have alpha damage of 700. And he got a near miss there on the T-29. Oh, now we've been located by the enemy FP207. He did get an indication of where we were, probably from one of the other enemy tanks, spotted our shots, and because we didn't relocate, he fired back. Now, it also told us where he was, and so we're now aiming for his firing position. So I think we're going to return the favour, because he's probably not going to want to move out that bush for fear of being spotted, because there are tanks nearby. Yep, you can see the tracer for one of the shells. He fired around in, and no results. So maybe he relocated after that shot, but it might also have splashed him. We'll just have to wait and see. Are we going to have another go? Now you can see that Vaca is rolling out his aim every time he does it. If you click on the right hand mouse button key on the minimap where you want to look, it will go there straight away. You won't have to scroll out your mouse every time you want to look at a new target. Of course it can be quite easy and convenient just to move your mouse sideways to look somewhere sideways, but if you're looking at a new aim point altogether, it's right across the other side of the map. Click on the right hand mouse button on the minimap. So actually, move your cursor over the minimap using the control key and click on the right button, and that will take you there straight away. So you don't have to do this scrolling out every time you want to look at a new target. It takes you directly to the target every time. He's looking around the corner at that Type 64. There's an M6 across the road. And the M6 has been killed, so he's still looking at that Type 64. Unfortunately, he's hugging that wall, which makes it very difficult for us to splash him. Are we going to go back to that FP207? Yes, we are. Okay, now, I wonder if he's still there. Somebody's firing at that position. Okay. That out, and then we move. Nope, nothing. So he must have relocated. But our team is actually approaching that position. So we should be able to find out very shortly if he's still there. He might have moved though. It's possible he went further east. Oh, that T-29 just got hit. KV2's coming to that corner. Ooh, KV2 just took out T-29. We're going after the SU-100, the box tank. We splash him, but we didn't relocate or haven't relocated yet. Is that going to be bad news for us? There's the M44. We've spotted him. Okay, so we now know where he is. And he's just been killed. That was an Arty round just going in there. I think it was the KV2 got the kill on the M44. And our M44 fired at him just afterwards. I think the FV207 moved further east. And he's behind one of the buildings. He might be in the gap. Now the KV2's moving up. Is he going to spot that box tank? There's the T-44. There's still 7 tanks left on the enemy team. There's the ISU-152. We fired a round in. And we damaged the 152. We're relocating now. Getting closer. Still haven't found the FV207. But we got most of our team, or a large number of our team, closing in on the southeast corner of the map. Now, why is he going round behind this building? He won't be able to shoot from around here. I think he wants to drive south without actually being seen. So rather lovely colours here. See, it's actually built on the chassis of an M4, the M40, M43. And it was interchangeable, so they could either use the 8-inch gun or the 155. It was the same chassis for both vehicles. Okay, we just saw the box tank die, and we fired a round in at the position, the last known position of the ISU-152, and now moving south. We can see where the Chi-Ri is. He's been spotted. Could take a shot through this gap here. Oh, yep, he's going to do that. He's going to go after the Chi-Ri. Dialing in. Almost ready to shoot. And the Chi-Ri is dead. Okay, he's going to have to move to get the next shot in. You don't often see Arty moving this far south actually in a game. A lot of Arty players will move, and I do so myself as a habit, because it does help you to get better angles on the enemy. People say, oh, Arty, it's always sitting at the back of the map. No, not all of us are. Some of us actually fight from the front or near the front. And if you've got a short range Arty, like an SU-5 or a Bishop, you have to fight from the front. Well, we're going to hit there on the ISU-152. And there's the FV207. So he did go between the buildings. And he comes out to fire a round, and then he's trying to pop back in again. So he's obviously going between the buildings to reload. And then popping back out as soon as he's ready to shoot. And that T-44 is using those concrete blocks for protection, but it won't protect him from our shell. Our shell will be coming in over the top of those blocks. And you see he's just trying to sneak behind the building. We're loaded. Round out. Oh, it hit the building rather than the T-44. So we're going to have to load it again. We've got 6 more rounds of HE. T-44 is moving up to take an aggressive position. The SB-1C is in the cap. T-44 is trying to oppose it. We've had to pull out of the cap. But the T-44 is now making himself vulnerable. And there's the FB207, but we're not loaded yet. And he's moved up a bit closer to the cap. Oh, he took a round there, that FB. Going for the M6 and the T-40, M44? No, T-44. We get the M6. Lands just in front of him. And that M6 is not going to survive another shot. Yep, he's gone. That was the M44 finishing him off. And the FB207, it looks like he's loaded. Yeah, we're looking from above now. Yep, he's loaded and he's coming out from between the buildings. He's trying to pick his moment. He knows that we're close, you see, so it's not that he's worried about us. I think he's worried about our teammates. We now have two in the cap. Fired around him and stunned the T-44. And we got some damages, but he did manage to kill one of our tanks in the cap, the FB201. 4 rounds left. This is getting quite close. Running short of ammo. There's the ISU-152. Wondered where he got to. And he's pulling back. We're dialing in. We're almost loaded. Lining up. Round out. Direct hit. 351. And he's suffered some stuns, so he's not happy. They're both trying to get shots on that SP1C in the cap. And the M44 hits the 152, who's pulling back into cover. Now T-44 is coming to the cap. He's just hit and run on the SP1C, but he's badly damaged. And the M44 takes care of him, takes him out the game. But unfortunately, we lose our M4A3 EC2, the Super Jumbo. So it's 2 Arty versus a tank destroyer and another Arty. Now that Arty is badly damaged. The FB207 has suffered a lot of damage. Now, what is he doing here? Well, M44 is headed off towards the cap. He's going back to the cap to act as defensive. If the enemy turns up near the cap, he should be able to get some shots in. We know that the 152 is badly damaged. And we know the FB207 is badly damaged. But they know from which direction they were being hit. So they might decide to come over here and finish them off. Now, I can't see the FB207 abandoning his cap area. He was very, very badly damaged, and it's a very slow Arty, and that is the ISU-152 capping, because the FB207 couldn't have made it over there in that time. Only one in the cap. Okay, we're aiming towards the cap. The M44 is going to look in the cap area and see if he can spot. M44 hasn't got a great view range, but if he can get a view and see where that ISU-152 is without getting killed, there he is. We fire around in and oh, it only stuns the 152, but the M44 shotguns him. Now, the M44 needs to get out of there before the FB207 takes a swing at him. And he's moving. Luckily, the M44 is one of the faster Artys. It is based on the Walker Bulldog chassis, the M41. And he's rushing south as quickly as he can. That is the 1 minute hooter. And the clock is now ticking down. We need to kill the FB207 to win this game. If both of us can get in the cap, or if both the Artys can get in the cap, they can force the 207 to come back. But will they have enough cap time to do it? I'm not sure they can, actually. If both of them get into the cap right now, I think it won't be enough time. There's the FB207. He's been spotted. Unfortunately, we haven't got a shot. We're going to have to try and drive in and shotgun him at close range. The M44 is turning around. This is getting very, very close. Very tense. 10 seconds to go. There's the FB207. Lining him up. And we do! We shot him! We took a round from him for 288, but Vaca kills him with only seconds to go before the end of the game, and the clock runs out, and it is a victory. Wow, that was exciting. And here's the end of battle result. It's a first class tanker for Vaca in the M40, M43. He picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, a Gore's medal for getting at least 10 times the hit points of the enemy vehicle, 10 times the hit points in damage of your own vehicle, and also a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on your team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other team members. And in fact, he only got 1 kill in the game. It was the last kill of the game. The FB207, the tank, the Arty that hit him earlier in the game, worked out where he was. And he finally took him down to win the game for his teammates with seconds to spare. Wow, that was pretty thrilling. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he didn't get the highest amount of damage. That went to the T44. He did a Spartan's work, or a Trojan's work, you should say, in this game. 4,985 hit points of damage. He picked up a high caliber, a duelist, a defender, 5 effective bruiser. He really did work very, very hard to defend his cap, that T44. Took a lot of damage in the process and was finally taken out by the M44. When it came to kills, it was the M44 who managed to get the highest amount on his team with 4, but it was the ISU 152 managed to get the highest amount overall. He got 6, but unfortunately he made the mistake of going to the cap, revealing where he was. The M44 could sneak up on him by being high above him while he was trying to hide, and of course the moment he was spotted, he immediately moved, realizing an Arty round was about to be inbound. Vaca fired, missed, but the M44 could not miss at that range. It was just too short a range, and he just blasted him with a 1.5mm round, and he was out the game. So let's have a look at the base XP. We can see that Vaca got the highest amount there. He got the top of the table, 1,059. Then came the Sparpanzer with 893, and then the FB201 with 834. Honourable mention goes to the M44 with 776, and the T44 on the enemy team with 784. Both of them did a sterling amount of work. The M44 for actually going up and spotting the ISU 152, which was a dangerous job, but he did it exactly right to be above the enemy, so that the enemy had to look up to see him, and of course they wouldn't see him coming. They would only find out where he was when he was already next to them, and it was too late for him to do anything about it. So brilliant battle there. Let's have a look at detail. Well, he fired 15 rounds in that battle. He got 4 direct hits, 4 penetration, 11 splash, damage of 3,321 hit points, of which 3,129 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously, the difference is that shot, the last shot on the FB207 at very close range. He received 1 hit from the enemy. It was a penetration, and 1 hit as a result of splash damage. That was the initial shot at the start of the battle. This was the later shot by the FB207, which was almost a direct in direct full view. Of course, that one did penetrate, did a huge amount of damage, but it wasn't enough to wipe him out. So he damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, and he also did stun assistance damage of 1,000 hit points or 14 stuns, and got 46 defense points when he hit the ISU 152 in the cap. On a standard account, he earned 31,708 credits. He got 9,512 credits for the personal missions payout, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 5,236 credits. He received 1,059 base XP, got 318 for personal missions payout, took away 1,377 experience points altogether. So Minsk, yes, it was dominated by the Artys in the end, and it was the Artys that are actually doing all the work, as you can see that in these scores. It wasn't just the fact, I mean, Vaca only got 1 kill, but he did a huge amount of damage to the enemy. And then the M44, he got 4 kills, And then if you look at the FV207, he got 1 kill there out of it at the very least. So you could see that the Artys were doing a lot of damage. They were effectively dominating it on that side of the map. I mean, combined damage of both Artys was over 4,500 hit points. So you can see a lot of damage. But that T44 has to get an honourable mention, so for the ISU 152, because they did stick it out as long as they could, as far as they could, but it just wasn't enough against 2 good Artys who knew how to play. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.